All right, so you know how much we love to dive deep into these really fascinating topics,
Yeah, top swap.
but without getting lost in the weeds.
Right, keeping it practical.
Exactly. And today we're talking about something that I think a lot of people can relate to, at least on some level, navigating professional life when you have a physical challenge that maybe not everyone knows about.
It's something that often happens behind the scenes, right?
Yeah, exactly. And we're going to be looking at it specifically through the lens of this condition called essential tremor.
And our main source for this deep dive is an article on tremor.today written by the site's founder, Juliana, who's actually lived with essential tremor for almost 30 years.
Wow, so she's got decades of experience figuring out how to make this work in a professional setting.
Exactly, and that's what we're going to unpack today, her insights and advice.
And just for anyone who might not be familiar with the term, essential tremor is a neurological condition.
Basically, it causes involuntary shaking.
Right. And Juliana's article really gets into the nitty-gritty of how she's dealt with this in her career, especially considering that not everyone with essential tremor uses medication or treatment to manage it.
Right, so it's really about those practical strategies.
Exactly. So today we're going to pull out the stuff that can help anyone facing similar challenges in their work life.
Whether it's essential tremor or some other physical thing they're dealing with.
Absolutely. So let's jump in.
Sounds good.
One of the things Juliana really emphasizes is the importance of communication.
Yeah, like being open with your coworkers and clients about having essential tremor.
I mean, it makes sense, right, when you think about it?
Like if you're in a client meeting and your hand starts shaking, it could be awkward.
Totally. And for everyone involved, the clients might not know what's going on. You might feel self-conscious.
Yeah, but if you just explain it up front,
Yeah.
it takes away that awkwardness.
Exactly. And Juliana even suggests using humor to kind of break the ice.
Like making a lighthearted joke about it.
Right, which I think is brilliant because it shows you're comfortable with it.
It helps everyone else relax too.
So it's really about being proactive.
Right? Taking control of the narrative.
Exactly. And I love how Juliana frames this openness as paving the way for greater understanding.
It creates a more inclusive environment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now let's talk about a specific situation where essential tremor can be really tough. And that's dining in a professional setting.
Oh my gosh, those business lunches.
Right, or like networking events where you're trying to eat and talk and make a good impression.
And you're worried about your hands shaking.
Exactly. And Juliana has a great tip for this. She says, try to order things that are easy to manage with both hands.
Like what kind of things?
Like sandwiches or wraps, instead of something that requires a knife and fork.
That's so smart.
It's a subtle adaptation, but it can make a big difference in your comfort level.
It's about finding those little hacks that help you feel more in control.
Right, and it can really boost your confidence.
So again, it's about being proactive, thinking ahead.
Absolutely. Planning is key.
Okay, so another area where essential tremor can present some unique challenges is during presentations.
Yeah, Juliana mentions experiencing voice tremor, which isn't something people always think about.
So it's not just your hands, it can actually affect your voice.
Right, and you can imagine how nerve-wracking that would be if you're trying to give an important presentation.
Absolutely. But Juliana figured out this really interesting way to manage it. She found that presenting while seated actually helped her voice stay steady.
Which is kind of counterintuitive, right?
Yeah, you usually think of presenters standing up, projecting their voice.
But for Juliana, sitting down actually helped her relax. And that reduced the tremor.
So it's all about finding what works for you.
Exactly, experimenting and not being afraid to try something different.
Even if it goes against the norm.
Because at the end of the day, what matters is being able to communicate effectively.
And confidently.
And Juliana's experience shows us that sometimes you have to break the mold to do that.
Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about something that can have a huge impact on the severity of essential tremor stress.
Oh yeah. Stress and anxiety can definitely make tremors worse.
Juliana talks about this a lot in her article, the connection between her mental state and the physical manifestation of the tremors.
So finding ways to stay calm in stressful situations is crucial.
And Juliana has a couple of go-to techniques. She mentions meditation and breathing exercises.
Those are great tools for managing stress.
And they're things you can do pretty much anywhere.
Exactly, you don't need any special equipment.
So it's about having those tools in your back pocket and using them proactively.
Especially before a big meeting or a presentation.
Right, when you know you're going to be in a potentially stressful situation.
It's about taking control of your nervous system as much as you can.
And that can have a direct impact on the tremors.
Absolutely. Now, towards the end of her article, Juliana shares a really powerful message.
What's that?
She basically says, look, Essential tremor doesn't have to hold you back professionally.
I love that.
It's a message of hope and resilience.
Especially because it can be easy to feel isolated when you're dealing with a chronic condition.
Right, and Juliana emphasizes that you're not alone.
There's a whole community of people out there who understand what you're going through.
And she highlights tremor.today as a great resource for connecting with those people.
So it's about finding support and sharing experiences.
Exactly, building that sense of community.
So to recap, the key takeaways from Juliana's journey are being open about your essential tremor,
Finding ways to adapt your daily routines, especially in social situations.
figuring out what helps you feel comfortable and confident in challenging situations.
And actively managing stress through things like meditation and breathing exercises.
And I think what's really cool is that these strategies can be applied to so many different challenges, not just essential tremor.
Absolutely. Like, think about any obstacle you're facing in your work or personal life.
How could you use open communication, adaptation, stress management to navigate that?
It's about taking those same principles and applying them in different contexts.
That's some serious food for thought.
I think so.
Well, this has been a really insightful deep dive.
I agree. I learned a lot from Juliana's story.
Me too. Thanks for joining us today.
And thanks for listening.
We'll catch you next time.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.